Nothing personal, but now I'd like to talk about how you were dreaming about plans for today. Yesterday, when you were trying to fall asleep. So, if you did plan something, have you done all of them? Tomorrow, I'll wake up at 8 a.m. instead of 11, go running, do exercises, make some breakfast, do all of my homework. Tomorrow will be a good, productive day. Sounds familiar? I'm sure it does. Me, I have always been obsessed with planning. It started in 4th grade with just notebooks. It was something about drawing and decorating. Then in 7th grade, having to-dos written in my agenda became a usual thing. It helps me to get rid of a mess in my head, and admit, it's always easier when you have one place where everything is written. Homework, school project, everything. Then I thought, why would I write all of this if I own a phone? The idea of digitalization of planning sounded pretty cool to me, but reveals it wasn't. I lost all of the notifications and had no structure. The feeling of disorganization has been stalking me for a long time, like a mess in my head if I don't have a written plan. I may sound crazy, but I'm just a Virgo. Despite astrology being a pseudoscience, I turn out to have almost all the positions in Virgo, who is believed to be the most analytical and observant sign. Hello, Barnum effect victims. Last year, I began properly analyzing and writing my plans every month, week and day. I chose a method, bullet planning. I found a beloved structure, but the most important goal of planning is to finish your tasks. It wasn't my case. I learned how to plan, but I didn't learn how to do it properly with the following realization of it. Might sound weird, but planning isn't always a hero. From my own experience, I found out that it can even harm my productivity. But why? Let's clarify this. The walnut-sized area in our brains that is responsible for planning and decision-making is called the lateral frontal lobe. Researchers thus believe this brain region might be responsible for strategic planning, decision-making, and multitasking. Remember the moment you planned something last time. Not necessarily a written one, just plans in your head. Do you recall the motivation you had? Believe me, nobody is more motivated to get excellent grades, start a new hobby, and eat only healthy food than me at 2 a.m. in my bed. Do you get what I'm talking about? At this moment, you feel happy because you are sure you will do this. You feel the anticipation of being a productive person. You simply don't have to do this right now. It's a problem of the future you. Dopamine-releasing neurons create this feeling by talking to the areas of your brains that anticipate pleasure and plan actions. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter, more known as a hormone of happiness. But if it's Saturday, and according to your plans you should have been jogging when it's so windy, or your sneakers are dirty, or something else has happened in the world, so you can't get up and start your great plans right now. Suddenly, motivation isn't as strong as it was 7 hours ago. Does this mean we should stop planning? My fellow planners, don't get worried. What we should stop doing is setting unrealistic goals. Do you recall at least one time you finished all your grand to-dos? I bet you don't. And luckily, I found a balance between writing plans and striking action. And I'm going to teach you some of my insights so you extract only the merits of it. My goal is to make you benefit from planning. Planning requires higher cognitive functions and directly involves setting goals, solving problems, creating algorithms, and decision-making, all of which truly have therapeutic benefits. One of the reasons we like to plan is because we create an illusion of knowledge of the future and promote a sense of control under our environment. When we have a plan coming up, we feel a sense of empowerment and control. The fear of unknown diminishes, in kind of deception of yourself, but it's not that deep, I promise. I'm going to give you pieces of advice that will help you make your plans. Make sure your plans and goals are short-term. Yes, you can make plans and goals for a year, but in the beginning, it's recommended to start with a maximum of 3 months. Distribute your plans to different spheres of your life: money, relationship, education, self-realization, etc. Keep in mind that you should adjust your goals. Life is rarely stable. Accidents and unexpected events happen. You should always be ready to adapt to circumstances and change your plans accordingly. The actuality of a plan can just disappear. For example, you wanted to learn Italian, but you have moved to Poland and you simply don't need it right now. What to do is just to cross out this plan. And don't take it as a loss. If you add some meltdown journaling and feelings into your plans, it will cause a huge empowerment into your state. Because when we reflect on what has happened, we grow up personally. When you make grand plans, you need to divide them into small possible actions. As an example, read 12 books in 3 months. Means 4 books a month, a book a week. Book has 200 pages. Make a plan every day to read nearly 29 pages. It'll give you an exact task, and you will know what you can do every day to achieve this huge goal. Visualization and emotional importance are keys to accomplishing the plan. If you plan on starting dancing classes, and when you think about being a good dancer, it takes your breath away. At this very moment, a part of brain that in charge of dreaming is assessing the importance of this very activity, and the prefrontal cortex, that in charge of planning and problem solving, as we talked, received an enormous amount of hormones of happiness, dopamine, and thinks, wow, that's a big deal, we need a plan. And the reticular activating system enters the game. To understand how this works, just pause the video and try to find some yellow objects in your room. Found? And now square ones. Note how you were focused on one particular thing and ignored other factors that may have interrupted you. Write down your plans. I prefer this method much more to the digital one. There are some platforms, but putting down creates order and I visually see my week. Currently, my favorite way is bullet planning. It's a special way of planning when your notebook is totally blank and you figure out all the columns you need. What I love about it is that I can always adapt to changes and write down anything I want. This notebook is my sacred object. If you listen carefully and are interested, first of all, thank you. I'm not the only one in this. And second of all, I give you a tiny task to start your journey into the world of structured and organized life. Write 5-7 plans for tomorrow. Start with the simple ones, such as make breakfast. Continue with something more complex. Try to use my pieces of advice. And now, it's only your choice. Boost your productivity or limit yourself with midnight dreams about tomorrow. Thank you.